He had a grand vision for his life since he was a boy.
I'm gonna fix things just the way they were before.
Just you and me. No amount of fire could challenge the fairy tale he had stored up in his heart.
Will you still love me when I'm no longer young and beautiful?
Was all this made entirely from your own imagination?
When I got nothing,
But I had the uneasy feeling that he was guarding secrets.
I know you will.
I wish I'd done everything on earth with you. I don't want to go.
And don't.
Last green light in my eyes, and my love on my mind, and I'll sing from day to end.
It had gone beyond her. It had gone beyond everything.
Something ought to be done about a fella like that. My life.
The Great Gatsby stars
Got to be
Leonardo
like this.
DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, Carey Mulligan,
going on.
and Joel Edgerton, among other actors. Luhrmann, whom I adore to watch as he explodes images across the screen in all his films, from Strictly Ballroom, Romeo and Juliet, to Moulin Rouge in Australia, did not seem to be the best director for the kind of material. But after seeing a trailer, I was sold, and for good reasons. It's a fantastic trailer. The one trailer we did show you in the beginning was an edited version. Hi, Peter Andronis, and welcome to the movie Inquisition. I feel a little lighter today. I don't know. Just 8. It's just a bit lighter. Oh, right. Okay. I think I know that. Character Gatsby is charming and has flair.
Everything all right? Oh, yes. Where there's my good friend.
Tobey Maguire's character is the one I hope most of us relate, and he is the witness to all the love, hate, blind passion, mayhem, and destruction of those around him. Tobey Maguire does justice to his role. I also love the script's depiction of social climbing with despicable values across the board.
I'm gonna fix things just the way they were before.
Just you and me.
The film has a great screenplay. It's based on a great novel, and the greatness of the novel is the way it depicts this man who relentlessly goes after what he wants, regardless, as many a politician commits many sins to get there because he wants to get what he desires at any cost. In many ways he's an innocent, and he can see inside the souls of others, and that's very convincing in the script as well as the performance by DiCaprio. But even though he can see inside these people, can they see inside themselves to become better people? And that is really the biggest conflict and the biggest challenge in the script, and that is really evident. You really see that in spite of the urgency that it's shown, you really get a sense of that in the script and in the film, I meant to say. And DiCaprio, again, does an incredible job. I'm going to keep saying that because he's the best thing in the film for me. Great stuff in it. There's a very heart-warming and quaint scene of Leonardo DiCaprio when he has tea and cake with his beloved.
Imagine me and you, I do. I'm certainly glad to see you again.
Whom he left behind many years earlier to find his fortune. And then there's another different kind of scene with a different rhythm, and it's in a sleazy hotel room where a lot is going on, a lot of play. I won't mention what, you have to see it yourself. And it's very dynamic. It sets the screen on fire. It's a lot of fun. It's very Luhrmann, but I enjoyed the way that scene was played out. I think each scene, the one with the tea and cake and him getting together with his beloved, is very well filmed and within its rhythm, which is a bit slower. And the hotel scene, which is a bit sleazy, is very gaudy. We've got gaudy colors, and it's a lot of fun. It really follows within the confinements of what the scenes need to be, which I've talked about before. But I felt that there were so many other things in the film that were missing for me to enjoy the film, especially in some of the CGI. I thought was a bit off for me the way it was done. Here the close-ups look like a video camera filming them, and the style used here doesn't help me relate to the scene. What's the point of one scene having a style of photography combined with CGI and then no other like it? It has no continuity. And during this dialogue scene inside a car, the fast talking and speed of the cuts from the editing are ruined by the extreme close-ups which make the obvious CGI in the background even more fake. It lacks mood and borders on animation. Also, I noticed, like you see in this photograph, it looked like they're taking a picture with a iPhone, if I'm not mistaken, but there was a lot of that weirdness which he used with the music, which I was okay with. In one scene in particular, he had the boom you'd hear from a big subwoofer in one of the rooms, and that was a bit weird, I found. I didn't quite get that, so I found it strange. It was like
Parties were bigger, the morals were looser.
the sound of the subwoofer while an older gentleman is talking to some of the protagonists. I think it's Tobey Maguire's in that scene. Yeah, Tobey Maguire's in that scene, and another actress. And you have them, you know, in a conversation. Meanwhile, you hear the subwoofer that the subwoofer makes in clubs, and I thought, a bit too much. But anyways, you know, these are smaller details from a lot of the other stuff I'm talking about. Also, the rhythm of the film, as we're going to show you, well, I did a little compilation to show you that. It's not really the way it is in the movie, but it gives you the sense of energy and urgency the film has. I felt that sometimes was a bit overdone, and you'll see that. I have some notes that I took, so I'm going to cheat and we'll look at my notes on my laptop, because I want to really express what I felt about the film and some of the things that I had problems with, as I was mentioning just before we showed these scenes. I'm going to go on my sticky notes here. Okay, so the many scenes are filmed and edited with unrelenting rhythm. You wouldn't know it from watching the official trailer. And the larger themes of these scenes are pushed to their ends without giving us a middle from where we started. It's one of the things that I was writing down and one of the comments that I made. It's like when I walk across a room, I feel the weight of the room. I feel what's around me. And in Luhrmann's film, you feel that after one step into the room that someone has thrown you across, or you landed you know, facing the farthest wall, and you didn't even feel the air around you when you were being thrown. So that's the kind of feeling I had, and I wrote that in my notes. That's why I keep looking at my laptop. You know, if you at least made me feel the air as I was thrown across, I would have maybe written a different review. As I said, there are things that I did like, and I mentioned those first. I wanted to be positive first, and sort of get in more of the details of why it's not my kind of movie. And since I talk a lot about editing style and mood, this is one thing I didn't appreciate the mood a lot in this film.
You can't repeat the past.
Can't repeat the past.
Why, of course you can.
I'm certainly glad to see you again.
I'm certainly glad to see you as well.
But the biggest letdown that I had is that the characters, again I'm reading my notes, it was that the characters throughout the film, with little exception, were lit pretty much in the same lighting, giving us little ambiance to their feelings or any true subjectivity. The only true subjective moment I found in the film was when Leonardo DiCaprio Gatsby walks out of the room while he's having tea and cake, as I mentioned a few times. It's one of my favorite scenes. He runs out on his woman, on the woman that he loves, and when he's trying to go back in, Tobey Maguire watches him, and there's a very true subjective moment, the way he watches him and the way the camera's placed. You really see Tobey Maguire looking at this vulnerable figure at that point, and that's a very subjective moment there. I really like that, and that's what I wish I could show you that, but I can't. You're trying to destroy me with this Great Gatsby thing.
Sorry.
You just cut me down.
I tried to hold this as long as I could.
Okay, well, this is staying in. I'm not editing this out. We've been editing like crazy for this show. This was the hardest thing to edit, folks. His coughing, my cameraman, wanting to have his almonds while he's filming, is staying in. That's Alex Foucault for you. It's staying in. This is part of our humor in the show. Okay.
I think I'm editing.
So, no, you're not editing this one. It stays in. Like this exactly. Because we have a hard time editing everything out. So as I was saying, I can't show you this. We could hear his coughing. I can't show you this because we don't have the film. We watched it in the theater, and we could edit, and it took a long time to edit scenes from the trailer, and some of them were repeated scenes. So we had an opportunity to really have fun here. So anyways, can I go on, Alex?
You may.
I thank you very much. Okay, so anyways, as an example why lighting is very important, I'll give an example. Lighting in a film that is a ready example and a popular film in our culture, The Sixth Sense. You may notice why you sense its intensity. I've really stole my notes. It doesn't have to be a suspenseful, supernatural film that gives that kind of sense. But The Great Gatsby is filled with mystery and grand emotions and deserves some attention in the lighting when it came to its characters. That's what I'm saying. Okay? So, I love you, Bard, Luhrmann, and your loud, crazy images and films, but in The Great Gatsby it wasn't my favorite thing. Films are a medium of visuals, are an art form of images. If I'm not drawn to the film because of the way it uses the language of images, by how it is filmed and cut during editing, then I'm not as interested. You know, that's what it is. Regardless of the script and acting, I lose interest. That is my personal choice. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
My life has got to be like this. It's got to keep going on.
I've seen the world, done it all, had my cake now. Diamonds brilliant and brilliant.
Exactly who are you, anyhow?
Hot summer nights.
It's in our blood.
It's alive when you.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't go see the movie. I totally recommend it. A lot of talent is behind it. DiCaprio's performance is amazing, and I really recommend it for a lot of other reasons. Those are just my own personal choices and what I like about film and what I appreciate and how I'm driven in film, what drives me to create, which is one of the things I want to do, create films and make films, and what drives me to see them and enjoy them.
I don't want to go.
And don't.
So enjoy, bon cinéma, and until next time, thank you for joining us at the movie Inquisition. We're done. Hi, welcome to the movie Inquisition with Peter Andronis, a feel a little lighter today. I don't know why, but anyways. Oh, I think I know why. So, the film, The Great Gatsby. That's what we're reviewing today, and we hope you enjoy our episode. Blah, 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 blah.
You just look down at the screen to make sure how that looks.